Now, I'm sure you've all heard the saying, if you do what you love, you don't have to work a day in your life. In this video, I'm going to share with you how I turned my hobby into a full-time gig and ended up doing it for ESPN. And of course, to do this, you already need to be doing the thing. So whether it's biking, fitness, baking, whatever it is, you already need to be doing the thing. So the next thing is to do is ask yourself, is there a demand for this thing? And how passionate am I truly about this thing? For me, my hobby at the time was going around to the soccer field and taking photos and writing stories about the soccer players that I was watching. So basically, I went to watch my younger brother play soccer. He was playing second division soccer, and I was at the field taking photos and writing stories about his teammates or friends of mine or friends that we grew up with, and just showcasing the talent. So where I grew up, we had a lot of talent, and a lot of the time, most of them don't really get recognized. And so I thought, while I'm at the soccer field, I might as well do something like take the photo or write a story and just put it out there. So once you've established that this is something that you want to do, the second thing you need to do is to set clear goals. And clear goals can be anything to you. It's different for everybody. So for me, I created a blog site called Cape Town Football. And on there, I would showcase all the local soccer players. And my goal at the time was just to create one article a week and one photo album. So I'd go to a soccer match, I'd take photos, I'd post it up. At that same soccer match, I would find someone and I would write an article about them. And that was my goal, just one a week. That's all I wanted to do. Another goal of mine, besides churning out the content, was to find someone to emulate them and try to be as good as that person. So for me at the time, it was John Goliath. I really enjoyed his writing, and he was writing about soccer at that time. So I would pick up the newspaper or find these articles online. I would read through them and I would try to replicate them. I would try to write as if I was John Goliath. I would try to write as John Goliath. I know it sounds ridiculous and I'm still not nearly as good as him, but I would take small little tricks and tips from his writing, whether it's the opening paragraph, the middle paragraph, the ending, and I would just kind of try to find my own way of writing using his way as a template. Going into my final and third step, which was finding free work. So now I had a little bit of confidence, I had experience, I had a portfolio of work that I could show. I started approaching companies to ask them if I could work for them for free. The first company that I approached was FC Cape Town. They were in the national first division. I wanted something for free, but it ended up being a paid thing. So I said, why not? And that's where my first freelance kind of gig started. And I think it was about another year later of doing that, there was a job opportunity at the community newspaper for a sports journalist. I saw the opportunity, I sent through my CV, I had no qualifications and the job spec asked for qualifications, but what I did have was experience and I had contacts within the sports industry. Went for the interview, got the job and started doing community sports. Now, when I did the switch, I was a SQL developer at Checkers. So basically, I did a career swap from IT to journalism. Now, of course, I was on cloud 9. I turned my hobby into a full-time gig, but that's not where it ended. So as a sports journalist, I gained even more experience. I was surrounded by really good journalists and I really gained even a deeper insight into how to craft a story, the who, what, how, when and where's, how to take a picture, how to tell a story through your pictures. And I was at the community newspaper for about just over a year and a half. Before I got a phone call, someone called me, said, hey, here's a job opportunity. We thought you are a good fit. You did a story on one of the soccer players and we liked the story and we recommended you. I got an interview. I went for the interview and met two amazing guys, Ryan Cooper and Richard Maguire. The two of them interviewed me and they asked me no basic interview questions like, what is your goals? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? None of that. It was just about who I was. So they asked me, what team do I support? Why do I support them? And stuff like that. And basically, they just wanted to get to know me, see if I'm a good fit for the team. Before the interview ended, they obviously told me they were interviewing people for ESPN. When I heard that, I thought, I'm out of my depth here. At the same time, I was excited. It was something I didn't expect. And I left the interview. I thought, wow, that was interesting. A couple of days later, I got a call. They said, we're interested in you. You will come in as a junior. And we are assembling some of the best journalists on the African continent. I didn't blink twice. I said, yes, sign me up. And that's how I ended up at ESPN, from turning my hobby into a full-time gig, into working at the biggest sports brand in the world.